Well, hello. Because Patricia introduced me as the fabulous Chris Riley, I'm gonna have to step it up. And Unkit has no idea how well he set me up for my portion. Now, to begin, I'm here, you're there. Right now you're a camera, but you're out there somewhere, and hopefully many of you are out there. I could wear an orange blazer to try to engage with you. I could tell you to go into the chat, which you should go into the chat. And actually, we should play the game of who wore it best, bright blazer, Patricia or myself. And you could decide. But it's really hard to engage with folks virtually over the internet. And I could tell you about the beautiful view. By the way, do you see the boats, the intro? That's happening right now. It's hard. And that's what we're here to do, though. Like, my job, and a lot of the people who are talking today's job, is to engage with the developer audience, is to get them inspired and active with their product, and hopefully getting them to the point where they can build as quickly as possible. So how do you do that? How do you build relationships when the very technology that we use is also distancing us? Unkit talked about making sure the human element was still there. Well, how do we do that? And that's what I'm going to talk about, is how we think about this at HubSpot and what we're doing with our partnership with Postman and our content to bring it all together and connect the dots from article to product interaction. My name is Chris Riley. I am a senior manager of developer relations at HubSpot. I manage a team of 8 amazing developer advocates. If you don't know who HubSpot is a CRM, a customer relationship manager for small to mid-sized business. It's the place that businesses go to build their relationships with their customers. They also want to build strong relationships. Now, what do developers have to do with this? Well, our development community is an amazing set of developers who build integrations with HubSpot. They extend the product so that our end user customers can do more. And today, we have the AI element. They can bring AI into their solutions integrated with our marketplace, or if you're working in a large company and you're building it for your internal end users, that as well. Now, what we have to do as advocates, and this has been true ever since I've been in advocacy, is we have to create content. But we don't just want to create content for the sake of creating content, throwing it out in the world and hope for the best. A lot of times, that's how it feels. And it's hard. Like, how do we know that the content that we have put together is driving interaction, driving engagement, helping developers take the next step? Now, when I first started in advocacy, there really was no way to know. The best way to know was if you got in a conversation on Twitter, and it was Twitter at that time. I'm not saying it incorrectly, so please do not correct me. But at the pace that we're creating content and at the pace of innovation, it's even harder. So what do you do? How do you create human connections when all you have is a keyboard? And that's something we have to think about a lot, because as a developer relations team, I have to go back to the business and say, we did all this great content and we love it, but we need to know more than that. We need to know more than you also liked it. We need to know that you actually consumed it and did something with it. Because we want to get to that aha moment. When I say connection, there's a lot of ways to think about connection. And Unkit called it, what did he call it? Time to wow. That's right. I had to write it down. Time to wow. Aha moment. You know this feeling. You know it. Please tell me you know it. This is when you start working with tools and you just suddenly it clicks, and then a flood of ideas comes your way. Sometimes too many ideas, too many to even actualize. Now, typically when I start looking at a platform, I go immediately to the docs, or I find a blog post that's loosely talking about a use case that I've covered. Then what? Well, then I have to go log into the platform and do something. It's that next step, it's that gap, doing something that can become very tricky, and that's where the aha moment is going to happen. And so Hannah on my team has spent a lot of effort on this. trying to figure out how to measure the aha moment, how to bring the aha moment, the time to wow, into our content itself, and then directly into the product. And as dev life cycles are changing and the consumption of content is changing, it becomes even more important. So what Hannah spent a lot of time doing is figuring out, how do we go from article to action? And this short video is showing you exactly how she did it. It was a monumental effort to take all of our roughly 100 endpoints and convert them into Postman collections. That was step one. Then after that, Hannah had to figure out, how do we get these Postman collections a part of our content? Now, when we say content in DevRel, this could be code, it could be blog posts, it could be videos, it could be events like this. And that's a lot of surface area to cover. So we want to make sure we get these Postman collections embedded. Then Postman launch flows. Wow, that changed things a lot, because now we can take full business use cases and make them point and click, run, easy button, and see what the impact is going to be. And then after that, we started talking about, how do we measure it? How do you measure aha? Well, it's not very straightforward to measure the aha moment. The best you can really do right now is come up with some sort of proxy, and this is ongoing. And then as soon as we think we have it all figured out, AI takes over everything, and we have to start rethinking again. And that is where we are to now, and that is largely why we're having this conversation today. So one of the most obvious places for this to show up is our docs. These are our new docs. Please visit them. Toggle the dark mode, light mode, put it in the chat, tell me which one you like best. It, for some reason, extremely polarizing, and I know I'm right. I won't tell you what the answer is, but I want to see what you think. So go check out our new docs, see where immediately in the docs, articles to action, you see Run in Postman, you click it, you're good to go. And I'm really proud of what we're doing here and where we're going to go and take this even further. So how do we know? Again, what's the proxy? The best we can do for proxy right now is tell you how many more API calls are happening than they did previously from our content. And in 12 months, and that is a comma there, that's not 3.0%. That's 3,000% increase in API calls from the developer-facing content we created. That's a huge success. I'd like to say we could call it done and be out. We're not. We got more work to do. So that's when, obviously, AI shows up. Now, we have to engage when you're not even the one delivering the content to engage. You don't necessarily control that delivery. So how do we do that? Well, it started with our docs. And that also includes our MCP server. So one of the first places we are spending a lot of energy, and I don't want to imply that we've got this figured out. We have a lot to do, and Hannah has a lot of amazing plans for 2026 to get this done, and work with our engineering team on the MCP server. But what we need to do is make sure that those Postman collections and the articles and the content they're tied to show up in context. So this screenshot here is Cursor using our MCP server, giving you a link to run the Postman collection for whatever API this is. I can't read it right now. We are going to continue to build this interactivity and build that article to action directly into MCP, where we don't necessarily control the output of the content for builders. This also includes Postman Flows, where Hannah built a flow that auto-resolves tickets using AI. And we're going to see what else we can do. And that's why it's so important to have a partner like Postman who's also invested in the AI future. If you want to find out more about all that we're doing with Postman, get that little dinosaur QR code on your phone there and go to the landing page, and that will give you all the information. And thank you. Thank you for taking your time. Thank you, Postman, for this amazing setup. I really just came for the setup. And after this is done, go and build something amazing. Thanks.